And we are live.
Hi,
We are live.
hi, everybody.
What's good? What's good? Peace, 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 family out there, everywhere in the atmosphere. Yes.
Girl, I got a lot going on. Sorry, y'all. I got a lot going on here. Let me see.
You good. You good.
Can everybody hear me okay or hear us okay?
Troubleshooting. Check. Mic. 1, 2. 1, 2. Uno, dos. Let's get it. Well, we just gonna roll right on in it, and they gonna catch it when they catch it, replay it when they replay it, and look at it when they can. You know
Period.
what I mean? Period. So, welcome, beautiful, 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 beautiful individuals to KSheaO's space,
Mm,
where it's not just a channel, but we're channeling frequencies and high vibratory energies just all across the globe. I want to say I appreciate everyone that is tuning in, who will tune in, who can tune in. I'm deeply appreciative for that. And what I'll be even more appreciative for if you were to touch that like, hit that subscribe, and touch that notification bell for all forthcoming content so you can see the growth and the maturity of the channeling of this space. I am Kita, and today we're going to be talking about the divine feminine energy and
mm-hmm,
how it's catered towards expanding creativity.
mm-hmm,
That's the topic for this fine evening.
mm-hmm.
Now, with this topic, I have a subject matter expert in front of you guys today. And hey, peace, peace, peace. Yes, I have this SME, and I'm going to tell you guys why. She radiates an abundance of beauty internally and externally through her words, through her physicality, through how she carries herself, through the encouragement and the inspiration that she gives, not only through her soul and her spirit and her beautiful singing, but also through her creativity. She makes handmade handbags,
Mm-hmm.
handmade mugs,
Yeah.
have a whole hair care line that will nourish your locks, your curlies, your straights, your kinkies. I'm, I'm just letting you guys know, like, this is some prolific stuff here. And
Mm-hmm.
you can tell that the divine feminine radiates through her being just looking at her creativity alone without even having to hear her voice. But once you hear her voice and the way that she articulates her information, then
Mm-hmm.
you can see the direct alignment of the mind, body, and soul, which is absolutely phenomenal on all levels. And I am here to give my sister her flowers because she deserves it, and it's long overdue from me to you. Absolutely.
Thank you.
And in conjunction with that, she also has a podcast slash YouTube channel that is titled Bomb Versations. Hold on. Okay. So let me give y'all a little clarity so y'all can go ahead and hit that like and subscribe and notify to her channel as well. So instead of conversations, it's bomb. So BOMB, like a bomb being dropped, like boom, bomb versations. And that name is so fitting because when the bombs are dropped, it's not just flames, it's gems. So you must subscribe. So I want to introduce to you guys my dear sister, Candace Nichole. How are you, my dear?
I'm doing so good. Thank you. So, wait a minute. First of all, that introduction. I almost feel like, how can I follow the introduction? It was for me. Thank you so much. I'm
Absolutely.
so excited to be here. I almost just don't even have the words, but thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. And I feel we spoke on the phone the other day, and I feel just the same.
I
So
appreciate
excited that we can come together and unite as women in this way, just
it.
as a culture, as a people, just whoever, just to come and drop jewels and share our gems and share our stories. I know you mentioned, we have we honor the Martin Luther Kings and the Harriet Tubmans and all of that. And while they were great when they were here, they've since, long since, passed the torch down to so many of us that are walking around the face of this earth at this very moment with gems and
Absolutely.
just as powerful and magnetic and radiant as those people were. And I think it is beyond time, for people to hear from us and experience our greatness, right? So I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
Absolutely. I completely agree and resonate with every single syllable that you utter due to the simple fact is that a lot of women out here, or let me put it this way, a lot of the social engineering that's catered towards us as women in our culture, they usually like to put up devices of divide. They
Hmm.
love to put that narrative in association with us.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't mind
Mm.
destroying that narrative
Ab-
effective immediately. You know what I mean?
Now, right now.
And right now, like maybe yesterday, maybe the day before that. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
just
Yes.
have to eradicate that energy in its totality because once we have the ability to come together as a collective with our divine feminine energies, complemented with our creativities, we have just the room and the space to be able to do any and everything that we set our heart, mind, soul, and body out to do. So, in order for me to cater towards destroying that narrative of division amongst us, then I feel like I have to take myself accountable to do my portion, to play my part. I can't sit up here and complain about something that I want to change, but I'm not taking forth the action to do something about it. And this is my step forward. It may not seem like a lot to others, but
Mm.
it's the initiative, it's my intention that I'm putting behind it.
Yep.
And what makes it even more of a force that you can't touch is that I have another divine feminine that's
Yeah.
coming in with me to
Hmm.
where we can do this together to
Yeah.
raise that consciousness so people can see that it is possible, it is apparent, and it's very well alive. It's here. So I appreciate this opportunity. I appreciate you accepting my invite, and I just
Yeah.
appreciate the gems that you're getting ready to drop that I haven't even heard yet. I appreciate them already.
No pressure.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. So I just want everybody to know from you, from your angles and your views, what do you do? What are you about? What what skill sets and what endeavors and what businesses are you a part of right now or you have created?
Listen, the list is so long. The list goes on and on and on. But I'd like to first, say that first and foremost, I am a divine being, divine light being, in physical form, having a human experience, right?
Girl.
This means that I cannot be contained, I cannot be put in a box, and I speak and I live my life freely and unapologetically. Um, I also believe that one of my deepest purpose in this life, is to manifest the art. How do I want to say it? I want to, I want to say it right so you guys can, really get it. Manifest the gift of artfulness, right? Because I do all the things art, creativity. I also believe that I was created to create and to, breathe some my essence into other people. So that kind of looks like me being, I'm a cosmetologist and I'm a product creator. And as you mentioned, I make handbags and I work with clay to create art and that sort of thing. And I was just telling, a good friend earlier that, um, I have to do all the things. That is a part of me. We're going to speak about this on my channel coming up soon. So, you guys, um, subscribe. But there is a such thing as your human design. You hear people all the time say, we didn't come with the rule book or blueprint. And I do believe that, that may be true, but maybe not. You have according to your birth chart and the way the stars were lined up when you came into the earth. You have your human design, and you can actually access that chart with your birth date and the time of date and all these things. And it'll tell you, exactly pretty much who you are and what you're meant to be doing. And you can kind of just follow the script, really, and you can just live out loud. And a part of mine is literally that is I'm meant to be doing all the things. I am genuinely um, gifted in all things. The ability to speak to people, to coach. That's something else that I'm getting into, a beauty and life coach, to help women. There's so many women who don't really know how to tap into their feminine energy, and so you'll hear a lot of them say, I don't have any gifts, I don't know what my gifts are, I don't know what it is. And it's just because they have not tapped into those abilities yet. They have their So many of us, for whatever reason, are living so heavily in our masculine because they're single moms, and different things. They have to work, they have to put food on the table, and society tells us we've got to go go go, we've got to do. But doing is masculine energy, and feminine energy, we just need to be. We just need to, create and multiply and receive. And so that's one of the things, I have to breathe a bit of that essence into other divine feminine. And the list goes on. I do so many things. So with that, I'm not really working with clients at the moment as a cosmetologist. I am dealing with people, clients one on one. So you can schedule one on one consultations with me via Zoom or however we do it. And again, I'm product creating. I have Afro Essentials, my hair care line. I've extended it to skin line. I have skin products. And now I'm getting ready to, well, it's out. You can go and get it now, but I'm getting ready to announce and launch my body care line, which is extremely feminine, which is, of all the things. And I'm so excited about it because it's things that I use myself. So if people want to get into how she keep herself, all the things is at Afro Essentials. Um, and like I said, I am a beauty and life coach. And yeah, and I just do a little bit of creating. So that's me if I summed it all up. That I'm all those things in a nutshell. And I have to do all those things. It's been made very clear to me through my ancestors, through down
Hello.
my channeling, that listen, you cannot want to be like, I just probably need to pick one, because society will tell you that you need to pick one. Okay, you can't just be doing all the things. You need to pick one and focus, and that's not the case. And we limit ourselves when we do that. And so, I'm meant to take all the things that I do and marry them into one big thing, and it's supposed to work. And one thing on this, like, because I feel like I'm talking, but
Mm-mm, talk, baby, talk.
so I have come to know that in doing all the things that I'm doing, I have to understand and know that sometimes projects that I start may not necessarily mean that I need to carry them fully out, but it could just be that moment where I'm doing something and just someone seeing it, it inspires them to pick up a talent or a gift that they've put down a long time ago and that they hadn't done. And my life is, when I say breathe something of my essence into people, that's part of it. The inspiration and inspiring people to tap into the things that are laying dormant within them or that they've put down for whatever reason, to pick it back up. And then sometimes that's the extent of said project for me. If I've been able to reach somebody watching, to inspire them to move forward. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm into.
So guess what? I am a product of what she just stated. So she is one of the inspirations as to why Catalyst Conversations is in front of you today,
Mm,
because I saw her articulation and her messages through her podcast and her lives and her Facebook channel, you know? And I mentioned this to her before, and I want to mention it to you guys. Do not ever feel like you will be ridiculed, talked about, or feel like you less than somebody when you are telling them, like, hey, you're my inspiration. Hey,
Mhm.
I'm getting so much out of what you're saying, and you are allowing me to catapult my gifts and my aspirations and the things that I need to do.
Yeah.
Hey, I admire your work and I appreciate what you do, because it's sometimes we have these sideline silent cheerleaders in the
Mhm.
background who says nothing, but then what is that doing? How is that helping you? How is that helping the person who inspired you? Because it's like we feed off of each other.
Yeah.
And by me knowing that I must be operating in my divine feminine, she must be operating in hers. Therefore, I can consider that a reflection,
Mhm.
correct? So, with
Mhm.
that being said, it's like this is how we elevate one another as a people, as women, as individuals, as a divine feminine, as being in alignment with one another and ourselves. So, I just want to let you guys know, don't ever feel afraid to voice how you feel about somebody, because just as how they're giving you encouragement, you don't know how you can have that same impact when you saying like, hey, you encouraging me just the same way that I encouraged you. It's not trying to make nobody feel inferior than the other or make somebody feel more superior than the other.
Mhm.
Absolutely not. This is, we are supposed to be here to do this. We're growing,
Yep.
we're maturing in our
Mhm.
craft, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And another thing that I wanted to touch on, you can definitely tell that you have done your study and research for yourself. You
Yes.
researched you. You see
Yes.
what I mean?
And
You
it,
took the time to
yeah.
figure you out. You didn't try to hold somebody else responsible, saying like, you know what, I don't know, I can't do this because such and such didn't help me, or I can't pioneer on this because they weren't by my side. No, you took you was like, all right, me, myself, and I, come on, let's get together and figure this thing out.
Mhm.
As to why you have the ability to be able to multitask in a
Mhm.
divine way.
Yeah.
And you exhibit it with so much effortlessness. You see what I mean? I'm
Mhm.
I'm I'm just being real. I gotta
Me and
give
Michelle
you
were just talking earlier. She's in the comments. Literally that you're saying right now. We were just talking about this earlier. So yeah, if this is like confirmation, yeah.
exactly. That it's it and it's so crazy because just by you having that conversation and us having this conversation,
Mhm.
meaning to touch on what you said previously, we don't know who we can help. And just sometimes, and it's so many things I want to touch on just by what off you just said.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
sometimes we are sitting up here, right? And we feel like just like you said, oh, I'm starting on this project. I done wrote this half a poem, but
Mm.
I can't finish it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not meant for you to finish it. I'm trying to drive home this point so some people can understand like how you can be a creative in different facets in different areas in different arenas, to where don't let these social paradigms restrict you and make you think like you insufficient because you didn't finish or follow something through. Maybe
Yeah.
it's not meant for you to complete that project, and it's meant for you to be the delegator of that project to give to
Mm.
somebody else so that
Mm.
they can complete it in the fashion that it's supposed to be completed in. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because probably your completion don't look like that other person's completion. So when they pick it up, you done pass them the baton, and now they can run faster. They giving you your rest because you
Thank
already exasperated your energy in that portion of that project. So now you're saying, you know what, here I'm passing this torch on to you. And it's kind of similar to the conversation that I had yesterday with my brother. He was like, you know what, and I am truly grateful for Kim James even saying this about us, because he didn't have to, but we graduated school, high school prior to he did, and we were in the band, right?
you. Mhm.
So he articulated it like this. He stated, he said, when y'all left, it's like y'all left the blueprint. You know what I mean? And when
Mhm.
y'all left the blueprint, the following year when y'all went off to college, we took that blueprint and we were able to go to nationals and win 8 awards.
Wow.
So just by that, example, And I'm just trying to give y'all an example so y'all can see the continuity of these conversations that I'm having with these dynamic people, and y'all can see the alignment. So y'all can see that this is real, this is true, this is manifestation, this is me on my assignment, her on her assignment, and us being assigned to be able to tell you guys that it's possible. But
Yeah.
I'm just trying to let you guys know that don't feel like you are failure. Don't feel like you're stagnant. Don't feel like you're stuck when you can't complete projects. It's not that you can't complete them, it's
Yeah.
that you weren't supposed to.
No.
It wasn't in the divine order for you to complete that project. And you have to have that intuition and that discernment to be able to know that and sit comfortable with that.
Yep.
And then to take it a step further, it will your intuition will further tell you in your divine feminine
Yep.
who is directed to complete that project. You know what
Absolutely.
I mean?
Absolutely.
Exactly. So another thing I want to touch on is just so beautiful. So you were also talking about from an astrological standpoint of view what you had to do to tap into that specific subject for you to find yourself out more.
Hmm.
So I it's just a little homework that I want to give people. Study your chart. Study your own astrology.
Yeah.
Don't just go off of just your sun sign.
Hmm.
All the planets is composed of your being. The cosmos is definitely within. I'm
Hmm.
It's like you have a whole ecosystem within you. You just have to understand what you're composed of in its totality.
Yep.
Once you understand your internal, you'll be able to express it through the external, and that's what allow your creativity to actually come alive.
Yep.
So it's not just dormant in thoughts and dreams. You see what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? You making it a actual product. You know what I mean? You making it into actual art.
Yep.
You're creating it to where you can see the fruits of your labor from when you labored in within yourself.
Hmm.
So it's real. It is out here. You know what I mean? So um
Yeah.
wow, that was such
I
an
did
opener.
that too in um not feel, when you were mentioning about um wanting to finish something and that sort of thing. And I'd also like to say, you have to honor your seasons and you have to honor yourself and where you are in that time, because I think everything needs to be in divine order and you have to be in alignment. And the only way you can do that is when you are. Going within and you're honoring yourself and what your body needs and what you need, and that's another part of tapping into your feminine. I'm speaking for the women because I am a woman and that's what I can speak for, but being able to tap into that, that's you listening to yourself and putting yourself first and being in tune with yourself. So you have to honor those spaces. You might get to a place where you feel like you need to put it down. Honor that, put it down, and you may come back around and be inspired to, take some more inspired action on that or something new. Yeah, definitely don't let society tell you what you should be doing and how you should be doing it. And also, I'd like to, if I can, plug Rochelle. Sorry,
Absolutely.
Rochelle,
Absolutely.
but she is a human design coach. I'm maybe saying this wrong, Rochelle, but you can definitely reach out to her if you'd like help going over your chart, and in that way, she can help you go over that with you. She does the human design. She does inner child healing. The shadow work of it. Coaching with that. I do believe I'm saying it right, but she's there, so you guys can check her out for that for sure.
Ma'am, Rochelle,
Hmm.
Miss, we must talk.
Y'all got
Okay?
she needs to
we
come here.
we
Okay.
must
Sorry.
converse because I'm gonna have to pull that divine feminine in,
Yes.
please.
For sure.
That is amazing. We need that.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
need that. Okay. Who
Hmm.
I'm gonna let y'all know now. Miss Rochelle, who just said I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Y'all need to tap in.
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm about to tap in. I'm about to check her out.
She'll,
You see
she'll
what I
be
mean?
on my show next week. For some.
Tell us the date. Tell us the
I will
time.
know the date. We haven't discussed that yet, but I'll
Oh, okay, okay,
tell the people where to find it. But it will be sometime next week. We talking about it. But
okay.
Rochelle ain't one to sleep on. Okay. I
Yeah,
just want
okay. I see, honey.
y'all.
I am even more woke than before. Like,
Yeah. No. 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 Don't sleep on Rochelle. Okay. So let you know.
in-
But yeah.
indeed, that's what's up. I appreciate that, and that is an arena that not too many people are familiar in. So
Woo! Mm-mm, not at all.
I'm telling you, so it must be, we must tap into that a lot further, because people,
Absolutely.
it allows you to get deep within, like, not just the roots, but what the soil is composed of, because sometimes what you're planting is no better than the soil. So
Mhm.
you got to figure out what, you know what I'm saying, components,
Mhm.
what nutrients, what vitamins
All of
are
that.
in the soil
All of that.
prior to you even putting a seed down in there. You know
Oh,
what I'm saying? Because it's a whole fertilization process to us. It
mhm.
is, this is not nothing average or nothing subpar.
Mhm.
So even with that being said, and this is a great segue to reiterate a point and drive home what you stated previously.
Yeah.
It's a lot about inner health. It's a
Mhm.
lot about what you put within yourself.
Yeah.
So I would just give, a nice little micro example.
Mhm.
And it's going to go into mind and body alignment, right?
Mhm.
So you are sitting up here and you're eating, and you feel like, man, I am full. Like, your brain telling you, you are full, but
Yeah.
you steady eating.
Yeah.
Where's the alignment? So you're not listening to yourself. Your body knows how much it needs, but
Mhm.
you're not listening to your own self. But
Right.
then you wondering why you have this extra weight, you have this mental fog, you can't concentrate, you stay with the itis.
Yep.
You haven't even listened to yourself. And to
Nope.
take it one step further, you don't understand why people are not hearing you. They don't
Yeah.
hear your voice. They don't hear when you saying something. They
Nope.
they can't understand you. You feel like you misunderstood. But
Yep.
the thing is, if you didn't take the time out to hear yourself, how could you ever expect for somebody else to take the time out to listen to you? This is like self reciprocation, so you can attract that energy externally. If you're not doing the internal work, is no way you're going to be able to see anything that you desire from the external. This is balance. And how you know that this is balance and you can tap in and you can start to make the reparations to self is when you can do the shadow work. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? When you can find your creativity, when you
Yep.
can sit with yourself and actually listen to your thoughts without trying to combat them or try to fight them or try to make you to make
See?
yourself feel like you're ashamed or embarrassed for thinking the way that you do.
Yep.
Stop criticizing yourselves.
Stop second guessing yourself. Mhm.
Absolutely. And if you and that's a great point. You sitting up here second guessing yourself, or
Mhm.
you feel like you need some type of reconfirmation from somebody else, whether it's from your mama, from your spouse, from your sister, from your cousin. You
Thank
need some type of feedback in order to for you to be loyal to your own thoughts. That's
Mhm.
backwards. You can't
Mhm.
that you have to find within yourself that place of loyalty and take that accountability to know that, hey, I trust my own process and I
Yep.
trust my own decisions and my thoughts. You know what I'm saying? In order for me to carry out the best and most sound decision possible. Now, if you didn't get the results that you wanted, it's okay. But at least you know that you could trust yourself to execute whatever that decision was. And you just keep it moving. That's how you build. That's how you grow. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? So I truly appreciate the
Yeah.
wealth in this conversation thus far.
And a lot of it has to do with, I'm going to say, um, a lot of the inner child wounding, and tapping back into our inner child, and that, being child, that has a lot to play in our feminine energy as well. When you can be like a child and be free and excited and have fun, that's going back to the child place. And I just think that whenever you hit these blockages and you get to a place of feeling hard on yourself or ashamed or unable to make these decisions for yourself and think for yourself, that's a time to tap back into those to find out and dig deep where this comes from. Where did this stem from? And I know a lot of us, depending on the conditioning and the upbringing that we've had, you weren't in a position or in a place where you could think for yourself or make decisions for yourself. We learned at such a young age to not trust ourselves because we were told that, oh, you're a child, you don't know, or stay in a child's place, or because I said so. And we weren't even allowed to make the choices, right down to not even being able to feel our own emotions and our feelings, even down to feeling bad about our tears. Stop that crying. You better stop crying right now. I'm going to give you a reason to cry. Just learning not to honor all of ourselves, our tears, our emotions, our thoughts, our wants, our needs. Sometimes it's been demonized or not explained to us the right way. So these things, very very early age, because our parents didn't know, our parents didn't have the right teaching, it was done to them. So we have to reach back and we have to go back deep and sit with ourselves. Even if you got to sit in the mirror and get really uncomfortable, get comfortable with being uncomfortable with yourself, because this is how you're going to tap into those broken places and those unhealed places. This is how you're going to clear out those blockages so that you can activate, those talents and those gifts and the ability to really, trust your intuition, because those are tools given to us from the divine, from God, you know, or herself. I'd like to say God is a woman. So, um,
Yes.
to us, these are tools that we use and we can tap into to make the best decisions for ourselves. And so we just, that's the first step. If anybody's wondering, like, how do I do this, how do I get out of my head, how do I learn to trust myself, you're going to have to go back to the place where you first stopped trusting yourself. Go back to that moment. Think about the first time you were unable to make your own decision, or trust a decision for yourself, or what somebody had to say, or people saying, "Oh, that's dumb," and that
Mhm.
made you second guess it, or "No, that's not cool," and it made you rethink the thoughts that you had in within yourself. You have to go back to those places to tell yourself it's okay. Tell that young you. I often tell young Candace, I tell the little girl, it's okay. You're fine. And I apologize. You have to learn to apologize and to love on yourself for the times that you abandoned yourself in for whatever reason. This is self abandonment. And we have to forgive ourselves for that and love on ourselves. And when those things try to come up, you acknowledge it. You don't beat up on yourself, because beating up on yourself and being hard on yourself is another form of self abandonment. And you just have to love on yourself and love yourself through these things. And I often like to tell that the inner child, you know what? Done a great job. You've done an amazing job, and I love you. But I got it from here. You don't you can have it. It's okay. I understand where I apologize for where I abandoned you, where I left you, where I did not stand up for you, where I did not take up for you. I apologize for that. But you have done, because sometimes the anger and the things that you feel, that inner child that's coming up and throwing a fit, throwing a tantrum,
Mhm.
they're
Mhm.
expressed themselves because they were shut down and suppressed and told no and blocked. So then you see children throw a fit and kick in a tantrum because they're unable to express themselves the way that they want to. So I just say, no, 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 we don't need no tantrums, we don't need that. I got
Correct.
you. You have to
Correct.
go, and it's, I got you. From this
Mhm.
forward, I won't be abandoning us any further. I got you. It's okay,
Correct.
done a good job, but I got it from here, right? So these are ways that I talk to myself and I help myself, and to heal those inner parts, um, so that I can move forward and clear those blocks and really start to trust myself, because that's what it ultimately is. There's something inside you, which is that wounded part of you, that's not trusting you because it's been abandoned by you for so long in the name of people pleasing and what somebody else wants you to do, the inability to say no, so you have to reassure yourself that I got you, and then move forward with setting healthy boundaries, right? And
Mhm.
maintaining and upholding those boundaries. That's how you stop abandoning yourself. And that's how you fix and show that inner self and that inner child that, okay, I can trust you. I can relax, and I can I can trust. And that's also how you balance that masculine and feminine within yourself, because we do need a balance. We duality, we have both parts, right? So the masculine is about protecting, and so that's what you have to show yourself. I got you and I will protect you, from here. And that's how you do that, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. It's definitely a balance. And with that being said, it's like when you go back and you begin to tap in, you begin to realize it's like a traditionalized suffocation of free will that has been passed down from generation to generation, that's
Yeah.
restricting you of your true ability or your true art to decision making, you know? Because it's like we should allow our decisions to be tailor fitted to us
Hmm.
instead of allowing our decisions to, you know what I'm saying, be provoked by the views or the focal points of others. And
Yeah.
that's what stagnates our growth at the end of the day, to where we feel like we can't move. And that's what stagnate the mom's growth, to where she felt like she can't move and it was passed down to you. And
Mm.
that's what stagnated the grandmother's growth, where it was passed down to the mother and then it fell in your lap. But how you can do that generational healing from that generational trauma is by you going within and
Yeah.
then you pulling all that out. And
Mm.
just as you stated, you sit with it, you
Yeah.
get familiar with it, you
Yes.
understand it. Don't
Yes.
even criticize it. Be
Mm-mm.
kind to yourself. Be gentle with yourself. You know what I mean? You take time to do all these other projects throughout the day because you have this 9 to 5 that you contribute. You may have your spouse, you have your children, you have the house that you need to tend to, and you do your housework. And sometimes you just feel so drained to where you don't have any time or space for you,
Whew.
because you go right to your bed because you done catered yourself to everybody else.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
what is so essential, and I'm gonna let everybody know, is that you make time for the things that you really want to do, period. It's
Absolutely.
no more trying to put the responsibility of self off on nobody else. It's no more making excuses. You have to make time for you. You
Yep.
are your greatest reward at the end of the day. If nobody has you, you know what I'm saying? If you don't have yourself, how do you expect anybody else to have you at the end of the day? Or period. You know what I
Yep.
mean? So it's absolutely valid that you even say that. Like you take the time to go back to yourself as a little girl or as a little boy, because like she said, it takes that balance of the divine feminine and the masculine. We
Mhm.
all are in possession of these things, whether you want to believe it or not, whether you know it
Mm.
or not, or you want to accept it or not.
Yeah.
This is just the facts. It's
It's
real.
yeah.
You can research it. There is scientific evidence that allows you to know that this is real. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? When
Mhm.
you break it on down to even like your chromosomes and your DNA, and when you look thoroughly throughout that, there's a balance of the masculine and the feminine. That's just real. So with that being said, you got to know how to understand how that balance look, and it's not going to always be 50-50. Like I stated before, maybe you need a little bit more feminine in this subject, or you need a little bit more masculine in this area, in
Yeah.
order for you to cultivate the best environment possible to navigate through it, that's tailor fitted for you, so you can get the best results at the end. Most
Yep.
optimal results achieved. That's what you want to get.
Yep.
You don't want to give yourself just subpar or just half credit for anything, or half product for anything. The same way that you will put your best foot forward for an event, for a situation, for your job, for your supervisor, or for your own business, you do it for yourself too. And I'm not going to just say you just going out and you just buying stuff and you going to the spa and all that. No, absolutely not. What do you have to do to tap into you? Maybe it don't look like, creating art, or it may not look like,
Right.
creating handbags like Candace does, or it may not look like, being able to vocalize. It may look like grounding. It may look like putting your feet in the grass. It may look like taking nature walks. It may look like you talking to animals, or building a relationship and petting an animal and building a bond with that energy,
Yep.
or even talking to a child, because they're in their most genuine youthful nature, to where
For
none
me.
of the world has tainted them yet. So
Yep.
sometimes a child can teach you more than adults can teach you,
Let
because
me
they're so pure.
let
You
me
see
tell
what I mean?
Mhm. Mhm.
Because I let you know, I learn from my daughters all the time,
Yeah.
all the time. They teach me something all the time. And I'll
Mm,
give you a little example. So my daughter, she'll be mad at something one
mm,
minute, right?
mm.
She'll be so mad, little tantrum, everything.
Yeah.
But then so closely in the next moment, she'll just be happy again like it never happened.
Yeah.
So that let me like analyze myself as if like, why are you holding on to those triggers like that? Why
Yeah.
are you re-victimizing yourself from the
Yeah.
past when it's over?
It's
You know what I'm
over.
saying? Because
Mhm.
from a psychological standpoint of view, your mind don't know that it's not occurring over and over again. Like
Yeah.
you keep reliving it over and over again. You know what I mean? Yet children will move on so quick. They'll be done with the situation, go play
Yeah.
with Coco Melon or Barbie or whatever
Done.
toys. Be
Done.
done. And the thing is, I had to take those same principles too. Like let it go. Why are
Mhm.
you holding on to that? Why are you harboring that type of energy?
Yep.
Exactly. We in the thing, we come into this world that way, but as time progresses and we get older, we lose sight of all of that. Whether it's you going to school or, like you said, what your parents have told you or embedded in you, you
Yep.
restricting your voice and you feel within yourself that it's not valid because your parents don't think it's valid and your teacher's telling you to be quiet and listen to the assignment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or it,
Yeah.
it, it, it goes into all of that. So don't silence your mind. Don't ignore your body and don't put off the way that you feel or your creativity because it's not just meant for you, it's meant for the world. You don't know how you can bring yourself together for us to be the collective for what we need. We fall victim to everyone else's projections.
Ooh, Lord. Yes, that's what they're doing. They're projecting their stuff onto you. And then we go around and
Absolutely.
we adopt it as it's
Yep.
our own, and we internalize it, and then we go live our life like, oh, that's gotta be whole time. No. That was
Absolutely.
that wasn't yours.
It
Yeah,
wasn't.
no.
It never was meant to be yours.
No.
No. So why are you trauma bonding with something that you don't even own? You
It's
got
not
enough that you got to deal with.
you. Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy. That's something else, girl.
I'm
Woo!
telling you,
That's,
for real. Like it's so wild, and I am so appreciative and grateful that we can have this type of conversation because probably some people don't even recognize that they're even in that state.
yeah.
And at times when you wallow in that space, it
Hmm.
grows into like an illness. You
Yeah.
start feeling it in different areas and
Yes.
different facets of your being, and you wondering why
Why
you
is
don't feel the best.
blood pressure high and
I'm
I-
telling you,
panic attacks? Oh, I know. Oh, I know.
anxiety,
I'm living.
depression, mental illness start to become way too familiar to you,
Yep.
almost to the point to where it's like you unsubscribe yourself from wholeness and from joy. You know
Oof.
what I'm saying? And we can't do that because that's, as I stated previously, that's how we, you know what I'm saying, start to build toxic relationships with ourselves. We
Yep.
don't want to do that because we start to, keyword as stated previously, project that out to other people.
Yep.
Why do that? You don't want to continue that mantra everywhere you go with everything that you say and everything that you see. And I'm
No.
gonna tell, I'm gonna say another thing. Another way that you can recognize that you, you know, you're attracted to your triggers, you're attracted to your trauma, and
Absolutely.
you're attracted to adverse things is if you just pay attention to your timelines on your social media outlets and you analyze the subject matter of the
That's one.
content that's on there. And
Yeah.
then when you start to analyze, because your timeline is only going to show you what you've already clicked on or subscribed to or that's in your favorites.
Yep.
So when you begin to really just analyze it one day, and instead of looking at it as an interest and start looking at it from a point of analysis, then
Yep.
you will start to understand like, dang, this is what I'm looking at. This is what's popping up on my feed.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to the definition of what your timeline is. It's feed. Exactly. It's the algorithm. I'm telling you, that's
Yes.
what you feeding yourself. So
Yeah.
take it as if it's junk food. Take it as if it's Doritos and nachos and cheese sticks
Yep.
and you know what I'm saying? That
Yep.
canola oil that you frying that fat back in that chicken in, it's the same thing. because it's all going internal. I'm gonna let y'all know something. You can have this bodybuilder that's up here that eat fruits and vegetables around the clock, but if they're digesting unhealthy content from the socials,
Yeah.
unhealthy content from their family and friends, unhealthy content from their spouse, then they're
Mhm.
more unhealthy than a person who eat 5 cheeseburgers a day for the rest of their life,
Yeah. Yeah.
because that's something that's programmed actually in your cells, like in the
Mhm.
nucleus. That's
Mhm.
the vibration that you're literally on.
Yep.
So can't no celery or carrots get rid of that.
Mm-mm.
That takes a total redefinition of your internal, you know what I'm saying, from your mind, your body, your soul, and your spirit.
Mhm.
And the only way that I'm even able to talk about this, because I had to spend time with myself to
Yep.
understand my version of my divine feminine and what that meant for me.
For
And I
you.
had to be loyal to that concept for myself. And I had to live that out.
Yep.
And more so than ever, I had to be that shining example for my daughter, because I do not want her to sit up here and have to heal from the traumas that I've been inflicting on her as the youth, as she growing up as a little girl. And then when she get to adolescence, or when she gets to be an adult, she don't know why she's attracted to all that, this triggering information on all these traumatic events that's out here, because her mama was doing it. I
Eh,
don't want that to be her narrative.
yeah.
So what do I have to do? I have to take accountability for myself and what I'm seeing, what I'm thinking, what I'm speaking into her. You know what
Yep.
I mean?
Yep.
I,
Yep.
she's saying affirmations to me.
That's
When
right.
when I when I'm walking through the door, she's saying, "Hey, gorgeous, I missed you, mama."
See.
You know what I'm saying? Before she go to bed, she telling me I am smart, I am resilient, I am talented. You know what I mean? I have to, what we consistently internalize through thoughts is what plays out in our lives, just like timelines. And it become a constant
Con-
mantra that just keep going. Oh, it's like a hamster wheel effect of this
Absolutely.
negative information. And it's
Yeah.
so unhealthy. We
And
have to detoxify ourselves.
like I say, the reason we are attracted to red flags in others is because they're a reflection of the red flags within ourselves. So it feels familiar. It feels okay. Like, oh, I know this, that sort of thing. And so this is good. This is why we definitely have to. We've got to detox in so many ways, not just our
Mhm.
bodies, but we have to detox our souls and our minds. This is so good. This is
Yes.
good. We are creating the algorithms, and our vibe. I think me and Rochelle said so. Your vibe attracts your
The
tribe, and
tribe.
or not you are directly in contact with these people, your vibe is you're attracting your vibe all the time. So whatever it is that you see all the time, because I've gone through my socials and got rid of things and redid and redo, because when I click on it, I got to go out the windows to my soul. Okay, I don't want to certain things I don't want to see. So
Right.
I have to readjust the way I'm seeing things, and how much time you spend on these things, and because for you look up, you've been scrolling an hour or two.
A rabbit hole.
Mindful of these things, and really start to, because it does, as at some point what you're thinking and how you're feeling, um you run around like, well, how I feel like this, or
Hmm.
I feel upset, or I feel my spirit is vexed, and half the time it ain't even your stuff. Again, it's the projection, and people don't realize that that stuff can project through the phone, through the screen, through what you're looking at. This is projecting into you, and so you definitely have to be careful for that reason of what we're entertaining and what we're watching, and really really do the deep work on yourself. Take that extra time, that you're watching a marathon on Netflix and you want to watch that one more episode. Well, use that one more episode, that hour, to sit with yourself. And people think when you meditate it's got to be numb your brain cake. It don't have to be that. It can be
Correct.
just sitting. We meditate all the time, just and thinking about one thing where you just hone in, the ability to direct your thoughts and your consciousness and your awareness to this one thing. And sometimes you could be meditating through shadow work and all the things. So it's definitely important that we sit with ourselves. I think that's it in a nutshell for me and what I'm gathering from all of this, because this is real good for me.
Mm-hmm.
Sit with ourselves in order to access these different parts of ourselves, because it's being blocked by
Mm-hmm.
what we, all the things, all the programming, all the upbringing, all the things. Our truest selves has we've been detached and cut off from them because of all the different blockages, and it's time to clear that stuff out. It's time to clear
Absolutely.
that you're able to really tap in to your authentic and truest self, because that's the name of the game. That's what life is about. People are like, what's the point in life, or what's the purpose in life? What is
Mhm.
it? In the whole time, it's you. The
Right.
name of this whole game, or this whole life being here, your entire mission and your purpose is you. And when you figure out you, and when you crack the code on you, then that's when everything else around you starts to open up and unfold. Your
Mhm.
assignment, your only assignment right now at this time and any time is you. Your
Yep.
period.
Absolutely. And just like you were stating, it takes meditation. And it doesn't, you don't have to sit with your legs folded and your hands up.
Mm-mm, you don't have to do that.
It's not even just about meditation, but it's about being meditative throughout the day, period.
Thank you.
With all your thoughts, you know? Say, for instance, like you just washing the dishes and then you like, why all these dishes in the sink? I don't even know why these dishes in the sink is pissing me off and it's just dirt everywhere. I'm just tired of cleaning. Pause, back it up, be a little more gentle on yourself. Don't judge the thought, even though it's an adverse thought and it's making you feel real vexed in your spirit. But you
Mhm.
can allow yourself to know, you know what? Take a step back. Just be grateful you got dishes to wash. Just be grateful that you can even automatically turn this device called a knob
Yeah.
a millimeter of an inch and water comes out.
Thank you.
Be
Thank
glad that you even had food to make a mess on these plates that
you.
you just digested for your health and consumption. And you have an area to put clean dishes at and have soap to make them clean, because
Yes.
there's so many others who don't even have those components. It's
Yeah.
so many people who are in lack. You know what I mean? So think about the abundance in everything that you do. Gratitude always in everything that you have,
Yeah.
everything that you do, everything that you feeling, because it could be a lot different and a lot worse. And I'm not telling you to sit out here and be comparing and contrasting yourself to
Yeah.
somebody, but
Yeah.
instead of looking at your glass half empty, just remember it is obviously half full too. So
Yeah.
how about we focus on that part? At least you got something to quench your thirst at the end of the day. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like just take a step back,
Mhm.
because some things that are vexing your spirit and are adversely affecting you, that
Yeah.
thing has the energy to be the assignment to you for you to learn what you need to work on internally, so you don't get as vexed when a
Yeah.
situation similar like that pop up or arise in the future. It's for you
Yeah.
to understand and make yourself better and greater, so you become more emotionally intelligent to be able to handle whatever comes your way. That's
Absolutely.
that's the name of the game. That's what this
Yep.
is about. You know what I'm saying?
Meditative right there.
Um,
Just yourself, bringing it back on down, and just being thankful, just showing gratitude, and just being present in the moment of why you're grateful, and the gratitude. That's meditating right there.
it is. This is meditative. This
Yeah.
this is something that I needed, that I didn't know that I needed. But I received it. We were in alignment for us to receive this, so it can be that medicine. We
Yep.
can be our own doctors. We are our own healers. Just as long as we take the time out to hear ourselves and to know what we're about and know what we're in composition of, our body will tell us what we need, but we just have to listen.
Mhm.
We have to build those antennas for self so
Yeah.
that they can register what's going on, so we can understand our frequencies, what
Yeah.
we like from what we don't like, what gels good with us, because
Mhm.
everything that's classified as good don't mean that it's always for us. You got
No,
to understand what you need, but sometimes you need certain adversities too in order for you to learn, because you if you didn't face those adversities, you
yeah,
wouldn't have gotten those lessons in order for you to get those certain type of rewards. You know what
absolutely.
I mean?
Mhm.
So don't ever feel like the world is against you. The
No,
only reason why that you feel that way is because it's a reoccurring issue that's getting bigger and bigger.
because
You
you're not passing the test, so you
correct.
act
You keep
around so that you can. We was
oh,
just day,
yeah,
because life is not happening to us, it's happening for us. All
right.
of this for your most greatest and highest good. And even when you put this in your brain and in your mind and just stop telling yourself, why is this happening to me, and saying this is happening to me, or why me, and always falling into this victim mind state, something's happening to me. No, it's happening for you, and tell yourself, everything everything is working out for my greatest and highest good. Everything is always working um in my favor. It's always working out for me. Everything is happening good for me. You have to, it's perspective, and it's changing the narrative, instead of seeing it for what it may truly feel like and truly be like. But then you can look at it from a different perspective and say, you know what, this is happening for me. Or when it feels tough and it feels hard and it's heavy, then instead of asking why it's happening in that way, then you want to find out, what is the lesson in this? What
Correct.
lesson is this thing or this situation or this emotion trying to teach me? Because always everything happens, like you just said, on assignment. Everything is on assignment. Everything is
Everything.
to build character and to strengthen us. So we have to. And I'm guilty. I'm a crier. You can catch me crying. But I was just on the phone
Heaven.
crying, just looking around. We're all, none of us are free of this. We all have these emotions, but it's just about practice makes perfect. And it's about being diligent in
Hmm.
wanting to just get to the bottom of it, to pass these tests, to be better as a person, to grow more. And so instead of saying, woe is me, then you should be asked, just ask, okay, stop and pause, come present, ground yourself, center yourself, and you
Mm.
ask, okay, what lesson is this trying to teach me? What lesson, like, what is it? What is this? Because I'm not getting it. I'm not clearly, because it keeps happening. And then eventually you'll get to a place where it'll come that one time, and when it feels heavy, you'll know it. And in that moment, the first time, you're gonna say, okay, what lesson am I supposed to get here? Because I'm gonna get it the first time. I don't need to do it two and three and 52 times. Okay.
Right.
So that's usually what is happening. It's nudging you. It's the universe or God's way of nudging you to say, gratitude, and to see the abundance in everything. I just was telling somebody the other day, lack does not exist. There's no such thing as lack. This is something that
Right.
we created and made up in our mind, in our head, and what society has told us. But if you look all around, we are abundant. We are
Hmm.
so abundant. There is only abundance. And so if we can stay in that posture, if we can, hold in that space, then everything around us can then become, okay, what is this trying to teach me?
Right.
And how is this working for the good of me in my life?
Mhm.
Uh, how is this contributing to my growth? This is a perspective change or a narrative shift, it from a different way. And then this is how you get past things, and you rock it like a rock star, and you don't have to come back to it ever again. It's like, I don't gotta see that no more, because I aced that. And that's how you.
Correct. Because truth be told, everything is working in favor of our highest self. But
Yeah,
once we gain that understanding, then that's when we can catapult our energy that's in favor of us.
yeah.
I had to understand that subject because, like you stated previously, I was like, why me? No, ma'am. Why not you?
Why not?
Why not? This is what is needed in order for you to unlock your inner genius. Everyone here has a soul contract that is tailor fitted to them, and
Mm-hmm.
everybody have their own unique genius. It's no two that's alike. So
No.
with that being said, you have to, it's imperative. It
Yeah.
in a sense is mandatory for
Absolutely.
you to start to dig within your own inner being.
Yeah.
Nobody can do this for you. You have to do this for self. If
Yep.
you love yourself enough,
Mhm.
so put it like this: all the love that you have ever distributed to everybody from when you can remember all the way up until this point,
Yep.
feel as if you can conjure all that love up
Mhm.
and then put it into yourself.
Yes.
If that's it's I'm not trying to speak literally, but more figuratively, so people can understand where I'm coming from, so they can, if they are unfamiliar with this topic, then they can kind of see the robust nature of what I'm trying to describe.
Yeah.
You're in possession of so many gifts, so
Yeah.
many rarities, so many jewels, but the love is what's going to catapult your greatness and your genius.
Yeah.
Because with that being said, love and fear cannot reside in the same space. So
No.
what are you going to choose with the free will that's been bestowed upon you?
Yeah.
What are
Yeah.
you going to choose?
Yeah.
It's imperative that you figure out what this is for you. Take as much time as you feel like you need. Stop
Yeah.
allowing the pressures of the world to make you feel like you ridiculed, like you're not doing it on time, or you're
Yeah.
not doing it to the standard of somebody else. It's
Yes.
not about their standard, it's about yours. And I
Divine.
get
It's not
it.
about nobody's timing. It's not about your timing. It's not about their timing. It's not about my timing. It's divine timing. And
Absolutely
when we get done and we understand that we are on mission, we are here on assignment, and it ain't got
correct.
to do with us. It ain't about me. It ain't about you. It ain't about nobody else, but that the will of the divine be done. Okay. And
Be
so
done.
time, when it's time to move, you need to move. And when it's time to be still, it's time to be still. And
Obedience.
obedience, like when you say, why me? Well, why not me? Well, heavy is the head that wears the crown. You have
Hmm.
joy, because if you're not being tempted, they would say in church, if if you should feel good, because if the devil, he ain't bothered nobody, that is like ain't doing nothing, like, oh, that person, if
Hmm.
if it ain't going, I ain't gotta worry about them, they ain't doing nothing. But anytime you got a gift, anytime it's something in you, anytime it's something that the world needs from you, oh, you can trust and believe that all the things are going to come to try to steal, kill, and destroy. Because why
Absolutely.
would the enemy want your gifts and your light to shine? Why would he? So
Correct.
heavy is the head. Whenever time, anytime it feels heavy, anytime it feels heavy, is the head that wear the crown.
Correct.
You're royalty. You're a
Correct.
light being. You have something to do, and it's something that the world needs from you. So put down the excuses, stop the whining, stop the complaining, and just understand that you that girl or you that guy. It's
I'm
you.
telling you.
You the
What?
MVP. And so you know what? Everybody's gonna be pulling on you, and it's gonna be all kind of things on you. But all of this is just to cultivate that gift in you that the world needs you. Okay, so
Yes.
I don't know. If you want to be basic, then go ahead, take your crown off. Go put,
Take it off.
you want to be that deal. If you want to be the one, okay. If you want to be that, I'd love to say I'm that girl. Okay, so if you're
Absolutely.
a girl, then you gotta sometimes you gotta brush off and say, "Oh, this lightweight. That's lightweight. I got this. It's nothing. It's
It's
nothing."
power in the tongue. It's so much power in how you speak to yourself. It is so much power in the frequency of your voice, in the tone, and
Yeah,
how you deliver your messages to yourself. And I'm gonna dive into this into my next virtual journaling prompt. But how you talk to yourself,
yeah,
it can be so profound
yeah,
that you can motivate yourself to do anything.
yeah,
You don't need this Dr. Phil to come and rescue you with his educated words. No, you need you.
yeah,
You know what I mean? It's
mm,
all in how you articulate your genius to yourself.
yeah,
And just like how you were saying, okay, we all in possession of gifts, right?
mm-hmm,
So now that we know that we have the gifts, how are we going to put it out there? Because sometimes it's not just the gift,
hmm,
it's all the articulate factors that surround it to make that gift just that much more expansive so it can have a broader reach.
yeah,
So, yeah, say for instance, you have this gift of creating projects and things of that nature. So,
hmm,
you could be in a house full of projects.
yeah,
How are you going to get up off those projects? If you don't get up off those projects, they become blockages because they're going to start crowding your house. So
Thank you.
what you're going to do, you're going to start projecting yourself, right? You're going to start telling people the type of product that you have. You're going to
Yep.
start inspiring people. You
Yep.
got your coaching that you're doing. You
Yep.
know what I mean? And so this is how you start to deliver your gifts. So it's not just that gift by itself that's operating alone.
Absolutely.
It's your other gifts that's surrounding that gift in order for you to get that operation off the table. And
Yeah.
that's how you know what you're in fully possession of, because
Hmm.
now you starting to work as a collective within self. You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
start combining all of you for unity consciousness in
See.
order for you to reach out and touch the masses just
Yeah.
by only your gifts. So just imagine your
Believe.
gifts with somebody else's gifts. Y'all out here taking over stuff. Y'all out here conquering the world. Y'all
Believe.
out here making stuff move and shake. So
Believe.
for you to know what you're in possession of, that's the first step.
That's the
It's
first.
the first step.
Yep.
Okay? See what gifts you have. Just like how Ken was saying, baby, I have a multitude, a long list of things that I'm doing. The world always tried to restrict us and tell us that we was just doing too much.
Yeah.
No, I feel like I'm not doing enough. I
Yeah.
need to be
Yeah.
doing more. Not saying I'm overcrowding myself with tasks and my life is just lived through this checklist. No, that's not what I'm trying to get
No.
at. But what I'm trying to allow you to understand is that I understand what I'm in possession of, and now I'm about to be loud about it. I'm
Period.
I'm I'm about to tell everybody about it. They about to
You
understand
hear
what
about
I understand. So
it.
you can overstand and you can take what I have and you
Yep.
utilize it and tell it to your own being. That's how we're gonna work this out. And that's how we're working together. And I'm gonna give you an example. This live,
Hmm.
catalyst conversations, multi-dimensional and multifaceted light beings.
Yes.
Just from the comments and the things that's saying and the tone in our voice and the compassion that you see that we exuding right now should allow
Yeah.
you to understand that this is real.
Yeah.
This ain't play.
This is not
Absolutely
fun.
not.
This is not for play. You,
Exactly.
but you. This is not for play. This is serious. This is serious.
These ain't jokes. They
These ain't.
ain't jokes. This is just the way that it is. I'm
This,
sorry. I mean, this is the raw and uncut, and this is the truth. And you tapping into you. I hope that this can really resonate with somebody. This is so mad facts. It's high vibrational to a
absolutely.
whole nother level. Like this
Absolutely.
supersedes 3D, baby. This is on a
Yep.
whole nother level.
Yep.
And it's not gonna touch those who can't understand the dimension that we operating on and the
Yeah.
frequency that we operating on. But at least it's out there and that you could feel that it's present so that
Yeah.
maybe one day you can tap into it. I'm not trying to like make nobody feel no less than nobody else,
Oh
but I just
yeah.
want you to understand where you at and where you have the capacity to grow to.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
If I can maintain that growth for me,
Yeah.
allow me to be your example,
Be
because I've outgrown some seasons in my life that I knew that couldn't be telefitted to me no more, as to
ab-
why I'm able to be here to talk to you right now. And I'm
absolutely.
sure Candace has as well. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? So I just hope y'all could get something from this.
I just think that too, if I can say, we have to get out of our own way. We have to get out of our own way and stop self sabotaging. And we have to let go of fear, because fear keeps us paralyzed, right? So you can understand, sometimes you understand what your gift is, you know what it is, but then something's got you afraid, or something's got you stuck, or something's got you blocked, and you can't move forward. You can't be consistent. You can't put yourself out here. Social media, as much as I'm sick of it, it is a
Yeah.
tool. And we have to
Power.
the perspective and see, like, okay, in this day and age, this is a tool given for me to be able to reach people outside of my city, not even in the same city as me. I have a further reach, and we have to use the tools and the things that we have, in our possession to help us with that reach, and no one of us is better than the other, because at the end of the day, the unity consciousness, we are all one and the same. We all come from this one creator, and we are all just pieces. We've all branched off from pieces of the creator, the divine, and we're all that. So we're all one and the same. I'm a reflection of you, you are a reflection of me. When you see
Mhm.
me, you see you. And when
Right.
I you, you got what I'm saying.
I got you.
all one and the same. And so somebody think, oh, they got more gifts, or they think they this, or is she doing that, or X, Y, and Z. No,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
when I'm living on purpose, then that piece of me that's connected to you, almost telepathically, or however we are connected in a way through energy and exchange, then it's supposed to light a spark in that something in you that's the same that I have in me. We all
mhm,
have the divine within us. It's
mhm,
there. And so when we are shining our lights, then we're shining the light on everybody else's light. To it's like a wake up. It's like, oh, okay, in the dark, when you see their light, then that's your signal to turn yours on. Okay, I got mine on now. You shine a light to the next person. And that's the whole point. It's like each one reach one.
right,
This crab in the barrel mentality, it shouldn't even be none of that.
gotta go.
When I'm living on purpose, it should inspire somebody else to live in purpose and in their purpose. And that's all. And as we start to live in our purpose and everybody just start to click around, it's enough room for everybody. It's because
Right,
we're all needed. You wouldn't be here today. You wouldn't have been incarnated into this life or manifested. We all manifested ourselves here for a purpose. And each purpose is supposed to contribute to the whole, right? So it's
right,
not about who's doing what or who's not doing that, or they already doing that, so I can't. But they're not gonna do it like you, though.
correct,
Everybody do the same thing, but they ain't got your sauce. See, you are
correct,
the sauce, and when people realize you are the recipe, so however you
correct,
not doing the same, and we need the way that you're doing it so that it can contribute to what they're doing it, because you can only say so much and everybody can only reach a certain amount of people. So that's good. You're going to reach them over there. I'm going to reach them the way that I do it right here. And they're going to do the same thing. And all together, we're going to come together and we're going to knock out the park what it is that we need to do as far as this mission. Because I'm telling you right now, I'm not coming back here.
At,
This was
who you
my mission. I'm not doing this again. So you
write
could do
that
whatever
down.
you do. You can play around with life if you want. That's fine. But I'm gonna shine my light. I'm gonna do all the things. And have you ever heard in church when they say, "Don't let no rock cry out in my place"?
Yep,
I'm not letting no rock cry out in my place. And guess what?
absolutely,
If you're upset or mad, like, well, why she got all them gifts? Start doing yours so I can put some of
correct,
this down. But
correct,
see, the thing about it, the assignment and the mission has to be done and accomplished. So if you got somebody that's willing to do and take on, like, okay, I know you're gonna do, then it might be a little bit more delegation over here. Because
absolutely,
the divine sees, like, okay, she's gonna do what she needs to do, she's gonna get it done because something has to be done. No, we need you to come on, pick
correct.
up the torch, and let's go. Let's move
Let's
it along.
go.
The things that I do again are not just for me, it's to
Right,
inspire the thing in you so that now you can pick it up and I'm going to put it down and I can move on to the next thing. This is what this is about. We need each
right.
other. It's not about
Right.
somebody getting head first and X, Y, Z. We need each other. All of us
Absolutely.
together to make what needs to happen. And that's what I believe. 1000%. 1000.
Absolutely. I truly embody what you say. And I'm gonna say this one last thing and I'm gonna leave off on this, right? All the things, as was stated in the comments, all the things that you are attracted to about somebody else,
Yeah.
you actually have that within you. And
Yeah.
you can actually pull those things out. And a lot of times, some people may be jealous of that other person because of what they're in possession is. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what jealousy and envy, what those are the underlying factors of. Those are the underlying factors of the inadequacies that you know that you have within yourself. That's why you even that jealousy is like a secondary emotion. It's very secondary. The primary one is all the things within you that you're not satisfied with, that you know that you need to change. But the
Hmm.
thing is, you're stagnant in your growth. So when you see those things that you need to change, that's in somebody else and they're thriving in it, and you're being triggered by what they thriving in and you feel like you're in lack of, all
Yeah.
that means is that you have room to grow and build. And that person is that example for you to utilize in order for you to identify what that is,
Yeah.
learn what your growth can look like. Not saying that you're taking their principles and how they're moving and their way of life and you're going to do the same thing or carbon copy their blueprint. No, 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 no. What
No.
that is, that's motivation for you to propel yourself forward. So
Absolutely.
don't get jealous. Don't allow your ego to sit in the driver's seat and start moving mad chaotic and acting crazy. Don't do that.
Not
Absolutely not. You
do
know
that.
what I'm saying? Because everybody's path is not going to look the same, and they road and the terrain will not feel the same. So
Absolutely.
with that being said, it's like you got to study your journey. Study what that's about. Study how you get there. Map
Hmm.
out your roads and your territory and what your terrain gonna look like and how you gonna overcome those hills and go through those valleys and
Yeah.
climb those mountains that's on your path,
Yeah.
because it could be a path of destruction or a path of success. Like I said, we
Mm.
have the power of free will, so what are you going to choose? It's
Yeah.
polarity and duality in everything, and
Yeah.
we have that choice. We have been given that choice through that creative
Yeah.
art of creation in order for us to be our best selves. So just let go of those low vibrational energies.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
have to be that way towards nobody, or you don't have to feel triggered when somebody is doing good.
Hmm.
Analyze that trigger,
Yep.
shadow work that trigger,
Yep.
see where that's coming from. Anything that you think is insufficient, there that means that it's so much potential and room to grow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they took they grew to get there. They ain't just, you know what I'm saying, was birthed from their mama and just got them gifts. They had their journey too. You may not have seen it, you know what
Hmm.
I mean, but they had to take some time and some steps in order for them to understand what that growth for them looked like. But
Right.
guess what, you can do it too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's about, the death of the ego in some ways because we need our ego, but just having
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going through I think we have so many of them, right? You don't just have
Yeah.
feel like I'm going through that. And I think sometimes that ego is the titles that we attach to ourselves and we hold so tight to them. Well, no, because I'm this and I'm that and I'm not that.
Yes.
But we
Yeah.
don't allow ourselves to be open to the inspiration that is coming in for us that may feel new to us because we are ever changing and we're meant to flex in that way, right? So, sometimes it's just about letting go things.
Mhm.
You're not just a mom, you're not just a wife, you're not just a friend or a sister or architect or these sort of things. And I think we get attached to that, and that's our ego. Our ego gets in the way, and we cannot be open to receiving, to picking up what the divine trying to put down, right? So sometimes
Absolutely.
you have to, learning this myself, we have so many things piled up and all these things, and you have to move them out the way and really sit with yourself and see, who am I? Who am I really? And who am I truly? And what is it that I'm supposed to be doing? Because I know a lot of times when it just even comes up, we can't even allow it to come up or something new to inspire us or spark us because it's not tailored to, or it does not cater to, or it's not in the same boat as the titles that we hold so tightly to. When that's not us, it's not who you are meant to be in this season in your life. So I would encourage people too to not hold so tightly to these titles, because
Correct.
titles, and you are something way more. I encourage you to dig deep and just really discover and find out who you truly are.
Yep, because those titles are temporary, but you are infinite. So
Yeah.
you can't allow that to suffocate your being at all.
Hmm.
And and now this one is really my last thing in
Okay,
this.
no, this is the last one. I ain't gonna say.
Right. No, this I ain't gonna say no more after that because we could
I
be
ain't
on here
gonna
for another 2 hours. But the thing is how you can begin your journey, especially if you have a household of other souls that
say. Yeah.
cohabitate with you, is that you begin to make a change within you.
Yep.
And when you begin to make that change within you, then you're going to start to see the immediate attraction in your household, with your spouse, with your children, with just even looking at just how the present state of your house, if it's mad cluttered and you have messes over here piled up and junk over there from years ago that you can't let go, or you just want to hold on to, or
Yep.
you got that broke plate still sitting up in that cabinet that you should have been threw away last month because you dropped it on the floor.
With the burn rings around it. Michael.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Begin to discard those things.
Yep.
because your external is a direct reflection of your internal, believe it or not, contrary to popular belief. So when you get to purge all those things out of your environment, you begin to give yourself that vibrancy to breathe again, to expand within your being and not feel so restricted. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I throw in there that these old things, they hold on to energy. Okay.
Energy.
The past energy,
Mm.
and that past energy keeps you stuck. Y'all don't understand the seriousness in it. That past energy holds you and it keeps you stuck in a place that you are no longer, and your soul is craving to expand more, but you can't because you got all this stagnant, stuck energy in your house and in these old things that you're just holding on to and you won't let go. But the minute you let go, then you open yourself,
Mm.
be able to expand, to level up to higher vibrations. Y'all gotta,
God,
whoo! Okay, that was my last. I'm sorry.
look, I'm telling you, y'all. You
It
know
goes
what?
deep.
Topic for this. We will have to have a part two.
We need a
Part
part two.
We
Yeah.
do. We need a part two because we about to go into midnight with this thing because it's
Yeah.
it's so it's so expansive yet so rare yet so dynamic
Yeah.
but then pure.
Yeah.
And
I,
I appreciate you holding this space with me
oh,
and all the individuals that's commented. You
yeah.
don't know what type of energetic forces that you just gave us to feed off of during this conversation. I just want to let y'all know it's a collective effort.
Yeah.
I couldn't do Catalyst Conversations without you, Can,
Oh,
without
thank
the
you.
beautiful comments that I'm getting.
Yeah.
What's the young lady name?
We're-
Yes, sweetheart, we gonna definitely link up because you are in possession of so much genius, and I would love to expand with you. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And you expand with me. These are the type of healthy, detoxifying conversations that we should have more often
Yeah.
because for me, this is maintenance. This is like soul maintenance. This is like divine feminine maintenance. Cause you know how you can, reach, a destination in your journey, but then you got more destinations to explore. But
Yeah.
sometimes you get tired from that previous journey.
Yeah.
These help me carry that momentum to keep me accountable for maintenance in my journey. Because
Yes.
it's not just you getting there one time, is you maintaining it for
Absolutely.
your lifetime so you can take it to other lifetimes so you can graduate because it's all about what self-mastery.
That's
So
it.
with that being said, I want to tell everybody that I have an abundance of gratitude for you all. I have an abundance of gratitude and respect for you, Can. And please just subscribe a little bit,
Yeah. Yeah.
like a lot of it,
Yeah.
and touch that notification bell, okay? Because
Yeah.
more content is coming like this. If it was just off of this alone, a part two is coming. So go ahead and hit that notification
Please hit
bell.
it because we'll be back.
We'll
Yes.
be back. We will
Hmm.
definitely be back. So
And you guys can
y'all,
go to my YouTube at Bomversations.
absolutely.
MB Versations instead of conversations. And all my other social sites are Candace Nichole, CandasNichole, Candace Nichole, Facebook,
Absolutely.
IG.
I am going to drop all of her socials in the description
Oh,
box so you guys can definitely follow, and her cash app so you can give this queen, you know what I'm saying, just
yeah.
gems of you, whatever you can give, you know what I mean. And again, thank you guys and have a wonderful night.
Thank
Peace.
you. Peace.